Here we are. It's round 3 of the pre-release pack Showdown. And we've got old Kaldheim 2021, I believe, early February 2021. So we did some Zendikar. We did some Ikoria, Zendikar Rising. Ikoria came in weak. Zendikar Rising came in strong. So it's really Kaldheim's deck. You know, I was looking at some prices before we did the video just to see where we're at. It's been a while. Kaldheim was a set that was kind of being dumped for a while. A lot of the gods are doing great in Kaldheim now. And so there's some really strong prices. Bergi, Asika, the Nexus, Goldspan Dragon still hanging in there. Verinclex, I mean, he was $40 for a while, and I'm seeing $65. And this is MTG stock pricing, so I'm sure where they're selling much cheaper. So, but just to say that, like, they seem to be doing really good. I will do another PSA like I did in my last video. You know, I've had comments on my channel. There is a lot of packaging for these. And interestingly enough, the 2020 set were in those smaller boxes, these bigger boxes. I will say, I think it's a valid criticism on how much packaging they use on a Magic product. I also understand, as someone who likes to buy it, like if it wasn't shrink wrapped, it'd be very sketchy. You'd have people tampering with packs. It's a safe way. Oh, hold on. Gotta get the receptacle here. But the thing I'll say too is that I always try to look after, reuse and recycle and repurpose this as much as you can. You got a little gift for someone for a holiday, you build a cheap deck box for your friend. You know, find a way to use these things. Recycle them if you can. I'm fortunate enough to live somewhere where you have single stream recycling. Wow, look at that, a black spin down. That's the first one. Is this a sign? This is cool. I do like this. Kaldheim, the World Serpent. Some Valkyries fighting. Just a fun little piece of art. I love that they kind of embrace the like metalness of Vikings. One other thing, in these bigger pre-release boxes, they've got a second little box in here. Great for holding extra dice. So we're gonna pull one of those. The rest of this, we're gonna do our best to properly recycle and sort. Trust me, I throw a lot of that in there. Ooh. Also, I noticed something interesting. Not all of these are date stamped. For Zendikar Rising, they were not foil date stamped. Hey, Kolvori, God of Kinship. We're gonna pull 2 of these, and the rest of these, most of this we're getting recycled. Some of these we'll find a home for. I promise you that. At worst, when you watch my channel, do know I am a very diligent recycler. Okay, Eradicator Valkyrie, beautiful. Black Angel, let's go. All right. These dice out of the way. We're all over the place here. All right. So we're going to get into it. Beautiful. Those are keepers for me. Easy to read. See, I'm old. Easy to read. Okay, Elvish Warmaster. Another card. Man, that's a great elf that is like $1 chaff. He was just, I think he was a box topper too or something like that. He's a pretty good elf. They've made it better, but you still end up, I think, running them when you build elves these days. Like, especially in Lathril, Ascendant Spirit. That's not a bad card. Kind of the blue. Oh gosh, what was that original guy called? What was that guy called? Why am I not remembering that little Kithkin's name? Oh, I feel so bad. There are codes in here. They're all expired. BT dub. So, all right, let's get to it. It's cracking in time. All right. Kaldheim's got something to live up to. Nothing too berserk here. Eradicator Angel is a mythic. Let's take a look at Eradicator Valkyrie here. Beautiful date stamps. Love seeing those. January. Man, they pre-released this early, so it was early February when this came out. So this is another set. 3 full years ago. Man, time flies. Flying Lifelink Hexproof. From Planeswalkers. Okay. Boast. Black and 1. Sacrifice a creature. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or Planeswalker. Activate this ability only for creature attack this turn and only once each turn. That's pretty good, actually. Kind of an edict effect on an angel with flying and lifelink. Kalia? Do Kalia decks play that? Icebreaker Kraken. It costs 1 less for each snow. Blah, blah, blah. Artifacts and creatures target opponent don't untap. Okay, so it's kind of a lockdown effect. Return 3 snow lands. Okay, to blink it back. Boy, that's a lot of hoops you're jumping through. Kolvari. I don't know how much she's worth. Probably not too much as a rare, probably a buck or two, but as long as you control, decent body, but great in Jonah, legends matter. Because look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a legend from among them and put it in your hand. So some great legend searching to trigger his sort of legendary matters cascade ability. And then it enters the battlefield as a creature type, add green, spend this mana only to cast the creature. So, I mean, a good little utility card for that Joda deck. Again, I'd show you these codes, but they are so expired. So they will get recycled. These we keep for sorting all the bulk. Great little dividers. Needed some of those. Ba-boom. Okay, now let's open some packs. Oh, these are upside down. Those might be the lucky packs. Let's find out, shall we? Okay. Tyvar. Man, this is where Tyvar first appeared. He's gone on to have some good cards and be a cool elf. I don't know if there's any commons worth showing you guys in this set, really, so we might just fly through there. Let me know if there's a Narfi. Halvar, God of Battle. So let's take a look, because I believe, is he worth anything? Yeah, his showcase is about $10, so he's probably about $5, maybe less. Hard to tell, man. The prices on Kaldheim are just starting to firm up, but not bad. We're off to a mythic, foil uncommon, Colossal Plow. I think Colossal Plow sees some play, honestly, as a little tech card. 2 colorless, and when it attacks as a vehicle, add 3 white and gain 3 life. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana as stepped phases end. Crew 6. So, beefy crew, but it's a 6/3. So, it'll get you back there. Okay. Let's keep rolling. Okay. Some commons. Some beautiful uncommons. The Bloodline Pretender is a card I really like. I'm a goober. I like tribal synergies, so a guy who's like easy tribal. I loved Kaldheim Draft. There were several times I would actually like max out on wins in like limited with Kaldheim. What are the few sets? Maybe that says what kind of bad Magic player I am. The Bears of Littjara. Blue, green, and 1. It's a saga. It makes a 2/2 shapeshifter. Not bad. 2/2 of your tribe with Changeling, so every tribe on 1. Any number of target shapeshifters you control have base power and toughness 4/4. Choose up to 1 target creature or planeswalker. Each creature with power 4 or greater you control deals damage equal to its power to that permanent? Wow, that's a funky little card. We'll make a rares pile just because Mythics have an interesting collation. Snow-covered, so we like to see that. Snow-covered basic, snow-covered mountain. Let's go Scred. Big Scred. Goldvein Pick. This is a pretty good little equipment, and in foil, and beautiful art. In the foil, I love the way the gold shines. All right, so yeah, some cool stuff so far. Elvish, those elf warriors you keep too. You need those for your Lathril builds. All right, Littjara Kinseekers. Ooh. They're seeking Harald, the king of Skemfar. He's an elf. This is a very beautiful showcase. Love that art. Look at how sick that is. He's a 3/2 for green, black, and 1. He's an elf warrior. He has menace. And when he enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an elf, warrior, or Tyvar card from among them and put it in your hand. Not bad. Man, he's a pretty good 20th, 30th elf, maybe, in a certain composition for Lathril. So, interesting card. Yeah, beautiful showcase, though. Like that. Kaya's Onslaught. Double strike. Okay, whatever. Double strike. Reckless Crew. This is a fun card. Red and 3. Sorcery. Make a bunch of 2/1 dwarf red berserkers, where X is the number of vehicles you control plus the number of equipments. For each of those tokens, you may attach an equipment. I think that card actually sees a little play. Snow-covered lands. We'll separate those. Those are worth keeping around. I tell you what, every so often. I mean, what is it? At the time of filming, Modern Horizons 3 spoilers are coming, and I believe we saw Snow-Covered Waste as a card, which just kind of shows you Frostbite. Man, I loved playing that card in Limited, dude. Woo-wee. Constructed, too. I was that lame guy playing that, the mono-red, like, Embercleave deck in Standard, and then when Kaldheim was in Standard, right before it rotated, I was running, like, Goldspan Dragon and, like, Marnie and that Frostbite with Faceless Haven. Loved that stupid red deck. It was good mono red, man. Kind of mono red mid range. Destroy all creatures, and you can foretell it. Boy, Do you get extra value when you foretell a wrath? I think you just broadcast to your opponent that they shouldn't be playing more creatures. If anything, it seems like foretelling that spell would lose you value. Maybe if they're already overcommitted, it doesn't matter. Giant's Amulet. These amulets are kind of cool. Blue. When it enters the battlefield, you may pay 4. If you do, make a 4/4 and then attach it. And if you don't, the creature has hexproof. As long as it's untapped. Not great. Treasure. Beautiful treasure token. Very clean. Keepable. Freya. I really like this, man. Okay, so I like this card a lot. Really cool art. Like, I love that look on the black-white angels. Flying in lifelink, she's a 2/4. She's a legend. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one in your hand and the rest into your graveyard. There's probably some good synergy there. Maybe that's why you want to foretell that spell. Goldspan, baby. Hey, that's a hit. I love Goldspan. Okay, I like dragons, but he's fat and fuzzy and has a bunch of funky little horns. Like, that's a Pokemon that I'd be friends with, this guy. I love me some Goldspan. Sick. All right. 2 mythics. We're going. Another foil as well. Boy, is Kaldheim going to show up and raise the bar? I thought Ikoria was going to walk away with this whole thing, and now it's like, are Kaldheim and Zendikar going to show up and do work and just like take this whole thing? The Rune of Might, a Rune of Sustenance. This card was there's a couple of those runes that were frustrating. Finn the Fangbearer. He's a pretty cool guy. I see him on quite a few commander lists. I wonder if that's an uncommon worth pulling. We'll have to look into that later. Skimfar Avenger, card I really like. Man, Phyrexian Arena effects, like, Magic's so good that this isn't that great anymore. It's kind of a liability. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just 10 years ago, that'd be a really good creature. 2 mythics, so pretty good. A god and a Goldspan dragon, not bad. Gold pickaxe. Another Bears of Littjara, interesting card. The Fall of the Imposter. Oh, good for a green-white token deck. Put a +1/+1 counter up to 1 target creature. Pretty slow, but if you got hardened scales, maybe that trigger you need. Exile, and maybe on that second turn, it'll just get the engine going. You can really get a lot of those triggers. Exile a creature with the greatest power among creatures target opponent controls. Interesting. A little broadcast there. Beautiful. Man, that Showcase Harald. I love that card. That's great. World Tree. It's not a bad card either. And it enters the battlefield tapped, and it adds a green. As long as you control 6 or more lands you control, they make whatever. And then for what we're just going to, you could say it's double Wooburg or Wooburg or Wooburg, or we're just going to call that Progenitus tap. Sacrifice the World Tree, search your library for any number of God cards, put them on the battlefield. So for the God commander decks, booyah, let's go World Tree. Yowza. That's so backbreaking. Like, if you bust the World Tree and you're playing the God deck with like Corona False God, dude, yikes. I think your opponents concede if they let that happen. Well, let you play it all, look at the board state, take a photo, and shuffle up and play a new one. Unless somebody's got something to deal with it. Exile all permanents, Tergrid's Shadow, and we got a Showcase Mythic here, boys and girls. Starnheim Unleashed. Beautiful art on that. Rudy Siswanto is the artist. Props to you, Rudy. That's gorgeous. Love that. Create a 4/4 White Angel Warrior token with flying and vigilance for 4. And if this spell was foretold, create X instead, and you can foretell for white and XX. So for 5 mana, you can double the effect if you foretell it, which is great, right? Man, does Angel deck play this? This is gorgeous. I really like that card. That's fantastic art there too. Alpine Meadow, whatever. Our foil is hiding behind the card. It's a 1/1 lifelink Dwarf Cleric. Foil Nothing Burger is what we call those. All right, man, Starnheim Unleashed. Gorgeous card. Look at that. Seeing some new stuff today. We're getting our eyes opened. Alrighty. The Yetis. Don't forgetty. He's got spaghetti. The Yeti is ready. Glorious Protector. It's 2 white and 2. Man, all the angels all day. Angel Cleric. Flash and flying. Great. Angels with flash. Resto. When Glorious Protector enters the battlefield, you may exile any number of non-angel creatures you control until it leaves the battlefield. You gotta jump through some hoops to get the real effect out of that. It's a little tricky that it doesn't do it for its brothers and sisters in angeldom. It's protecting mortals, which is great flavor, just a little tricky. Quite a few hoops. You can still get something good. Definitely not Restoration Angel. Okay. Way Down. Love the art on Way Down. Love the art on Way Down. Gold art on black cards. Sick. Hero's Downfall comes to mind. What was that? Gilded Touch back in the day? Love that. Love that. Okay. Arnie slays the troll. Port Maha Bredagard Protector. What is this one? 2 white and green and 2. It's a lord, but for everything. It's a human warrior, so not bad tribes. When a land enters the battlefield, make a human warrior. That's not a bad little creature there, honestly. Cyclone Summoner, 2 blue and 5. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, return all permanents to their owner's hands, except for giants, wizards, and lands. Dude, this is brutal in a wizard deck. This is brutal. Do people play Cyclone Summoner? Return all permanents to their owner's hand. Oh, and lands. Okay, I was like, damn. I mean, still not bad. And you're blue, so I guess you can counter magic. Run amok. Zombie Berserker. A Draugr, I think those we learned from Skyrim. That's what those are. Immersturm. Skullcairn. It deals 3 damage to target player. That player discards a card. Oh boy, another Showcase Mythic. Alrund's Epiphany. That's a cool card. 2 blue and 5. Make 2 1/1 blue bird tokens with flying, and then take an extra turn and exile it. And you can foretell it for 6. Man, gorgeous though. Look at that Vulcan Baga art too. That's a classic. That's a not quite a museum quality piece, but the art certainly is. Man, those showcases showing up. Snow-covered swamp. And Showcase Finn the Fangbearer. Not bad. In foil. That actually might be worth a penny or two. We gotta look at our old buddy Finn. I mean, I saw plenty of commander lists referencing him on EDH Rec. Whenever a creature you control with Death Touch deals combat damage, that player gets 2 poison counters. That's frightening. That actually is quite threatening. I have never opened Nico. Ever on Arena in these packs. I've opened so much of this product and I've never seen that card physically or on Arena. Like, I've had it played against me and gotten sad. Icebreaker Kraken. Okay, we looked at that one before. Don't care too much for you. If Krakens are your cup of tea, go for it. That's a, boy. It's just a lot of work, man. I'm getting old. I gotta read all that to realize it's not really that exciting anyways. Come on now. Rootless Svella, Ice Shaper. Create a colorless snow artifact named Icy Manolith. Look at the top 4 cards. You may cast a spell, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's fun. That's fine. In Search of Greatness. Boy, this is a card I thought would take off a lot more. 2 green. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may cast a permanent spell from your hand with converted mana cost equal to 1 plus the highest mana cost among other permanents you control. If you don't, scry. So it may be hard to trigger this once you get to some awkward costs, but still, for 2 green, if you get this out early, you're ramping up spells for free. I mean, if you play this on turn 2, turn 3, you get to cast a 3-cost spell for free. And if you don't have it, you scry. Like, that's not a bad card, right? But I don't think In Search of Greatness has really gone on to do much. I don't think it's achieved greatness. It may still be searching. Arnie Broken Brow. Haste. Boast. You may change his power to 1 plus the greatest of power. In red aggro decks, that might do something. I don't really think Arnie's the man, though. Snow Forest, Jarl of the Forsaken. Spicy. He's a Jarl, but he's common? He's a cleric and a zombie. When he enters the battlefield, destroy target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. And he's got flash. That's not a bad card, honestly, for a zombie. Zombie decks need some removal? Probably not. Ooh, Kaya. Hello. Kaya the Inexorable. Kaya is such a cool character. I worry that they'll overuse her, but I really like her, and she's cool when she shows up. And the way she's kind of danced out of Conspiracy into the story and been kind of like, it's Nahiri, but emotionally stable and doing good. I really like Kaya. She's cool. Path to the World Tree. Doesn't let you get the World Tree out. What does it do? When it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Okay. So it's not quite rampant growth. And then for Wooburg and 2, sack it, gain 2 life, draw 2 cards, target opponent loses 2 life, it deals 2 damage to 1 creature. Okay, so it just doesn't affect, but it doesn't get you to the World Tree. I guess that's just what you, it's not a path to the World Tree in the sense that it's a path to that card. It's sort of encapsulating the experiences one might encounter walking the path to the World Tree. How's that? How's that? Run ashore. All right, runes. Weathered Runestone. Not a bad card. Non-land permanent cards in graveyards and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from their graveyards or libraries. I might actually pull this aside simply to main deck it against my brother who plays Mimeoplasm in his CEDH deck. Get salty, little brother. Alrighty. Ooh, Resplendent Marshal, another good mythic. Flying. When it enters the battlefield or dies, you may exile another creature card from your graveyard. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control, other than the Marshal, that shares a creature type with that card. Cool. Frostbite in foil. Again, Frostbite was such a good card in Constructed at the time, especially with like Faceless Haven. Ooh, boy. Goldspan Dragon, Frostbite, Faceless Haven. I was that jerk. You guys, I was that jerk. Embercleave. When they board wipe you and all you've got is 2 treasures and then you play a land and you basically play Goldspan Dragon to get the tokens to equip the Embercleave and come in and double strike them for 10 and they don't see it coming and you just win the game. It doesn't get much better than that, you guys. Just surprise winning in just this, to me, like, oops, my dragon. Ooh, Asika's Chariot. Another very fine card. Green and 3. When it enters the battlefield, make 2/2/2 cats. We love cats here on the channel. Whenever Asika's Chariot attacks, create a token that's a copy of a target token you control. And it accrues for 4 as a 4/4. It's a fantastic little vehicle. Probably one of the better vehicles. It's hard to say. There's good vehicles out there. I will say that much. Okay, now. Let's keep going. We've had some nice stuff here. Man, it reminds us Kaldheim. You know what else it reminds me of, this whole process has? In the last couple of years when the market got really down and we got bummed, there are good sets. The quality of the cards Wizards has been printing over the last few years has not been the issue with the value and interest in Magic. At least from my opinion. Realm Walker, another card I enjoy. Changeling. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. And then it's a Yeva Nature's Herald for that creature type. Very nice. Very, very nice. I wish Legend was a creature type and not a super type, but that is just a greedy personal opinion that probably would not be overall very good for the game. But I can dream. Bloodline Protector. Hey, the World Tree. Again, not a bad card, though. World Tree's got to be worth $1 or $2. Those guys, I mean, they're already shelling out money to play the God deck. And those OG Theros gods, my goodness, man. Some of those ones that were like $2 and $3 forever back in the day are now really starting to climb and have not seen reprints. Boy, if you went in hard on like the Orzhov or Dimir God, when you could pick those up for like $2 or $3, you know, many years ago, maybe 10 years ago at this point, you've tripled your investment probably. That was a good time to spec. Hey, Flipland, Dark Boar Pathway. Very nice. Green and black. We like those. It's a nice one. Haven't seen too many of those in this, though. Some other great cards, but not too many lands. It's going to be interesting. Man, is Kaldheim pulling ahead? We'll find out. If we open a Virinclex, it might just lock it up. Let's see. Sarulf, the Realm Eater. I like this card a lot. I haven't seen it played much. Green, black, 1. Whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it has 1 or more +1/+1 counters on it, you remove them all. If you do, exile. So it's a, gosh, not Pernicious Deed. Is that Pernicious Deed I'm thinking of? In the old rock deck with Prerelease setting the Time Bomb? It is Pernicious Deed, right? In any case, yeah, it's Pernicious Deed on a body with a different trigger circumstance. And a cool wolf. I like the idea of a big wolf. I think a big wolf in real life would scare me, but a big spirit wolf coming out of the woods, I think my spirit's relatively clean. I think I could stand toe-to-toe and speak with it before it devoured me or gave me some kind of quest. Maxed Wood Nexus. This is actually a hit at time of filming. Even though this is a rare, market value is around $9 to $10 on MTG stocks. So creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. 3 colorless. Now, that doesn't count, I believe, exile. I believe it's just considering other zones, aka your hand, your library, the graveyard. It's just a clean way of saying the other zones the game sees. 3 colorless and tap. Create a 2/2 blue shape-shifting creature token with Changeling. So, Changeling, there you go. Morophon? Is that who wants that card? Hey, a foil. It's a foil. Okay. Way down. Crush the Weak. Another Weathered Runestone. We'll pull that. Cosmos Elixir. 4 colors. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If your life total is greater than your starting life total. Otherwise, gain 2 life. So kind of an Oloro deck type of effect. Not bad, not bad. That's another card to spec on. Man, if we could all go back in time, there was a time where you could just raid Walmart, just buy as many Oloro decks as you can get your hands on, and then wait until like CEDH was taking off. Remember when they used to call it French Commander? And it was one-on-one, and he was like banned. There was a time that Oloro was holding quite the dollar amount. I haven't looked in a while. The Blood Sky Massacre. I think this card sees some play. It's a 2/3 red Demon Berserker. Whenever a Berserker attacks this turn, draw a card and lose a life. Add red for each Berserker you control. Until end of turn, you don't lose mana. That probably doesn't see play. Berserker deck. Berserker.deck, huh? I don't know the Berserker deck. Herald unites the elves, though. I really like this card. Mill 3 cards, put an elf or a Tyvar from your hand on the battlefield. Lathril. Put a +1/+1 counter on each elf you control. Yowza. Whenever an elf you control attacks, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1. Oh yeah, you're in trouble. You cannot sit there and just let them amass behind that spell, buddy boy. If you lose to that, that's on you. Strategic planning. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put 1 in your hand and the rest in your graveyard. Strategic Planning is not a bad card. Sorcery Speed's a little weak. But that's a good sort of like filter effect for blue. Kind of a gosh, what is that card? It's not Reclamation Sage, but what's the guy I'm thinking of that from Innistrad? Agar the Freezing Flame. I love the art on that card. I'm a sucker for like blue and red light in the fantasy art. Cole the Forge Smasher, beautiful showcase. Surtland, and a Cosmos Charger. What is a Cosmos Charger? It's a horse spirit. Blue and 3, flash and flying. Foretelling cards from your hand costs 1 less and can be done on any player's turn. Dude, that's pretty sick for Foretell deck. Wow, that's... I wonder if Cosmos Charger sees some play. When you foretell, yeah, you exile the card, so you are casting it from exile. Okay, good to know, good to know. There might be a future for you, little horse. Spectral Steel and, ooh, Showcase Chariot. Very cool. The cats look so much meaner on this one, don't they? They're little fuzzballs on the other one. Beautiful. Okay, well, we're starting to run pretty well. Poison the Cup, another Realm Walker, just fine. Okay, Kaldheim came in strong. Kaldheim came in strong. We'll do a final video where I'll check prices day of to kind of crown a winner, but thank you for hanging out with me, guys, as we wind down. Search for glory. Search your library for a snow permanent card, a legendary card, or a saga. Reveal it and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your library. You gain 1 life each. I mean, this is a pretty flexible tutor. It's a little expensive and it's slow, and white is not usually the snow deck color, but a legendary card, a snow permanent, or a saga, that's not a bad tutor in white, honestly. Not a card I'd seen play much. Probably just needs a good home. Who knows? Search for Glory may be one of those cards that'll spike in the future if the right card came out for it. Modern Horizons 3, Snow-Covered Wastes. It does search for a snow permanent. Maybe it's time. Take a look. Take a tip, take a tip, take a tip from me. Take all of your commons and give those to your local library. Blessing of Frost. It's green and 3 for a snow sorcery. Distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of creatures you control, where X is the amount of snow spent to cast this spell. Then draw a card. I used to try to play this, simply because it was green card draw. It did not work out very well for me in Limited. So, heed my warning. It didn't work out. Now, that may be user error, operator error. Sculptor of Winter was a playable card back in Limited. Poison the Cup, Colossal Plow, Boreal Outrider. That's one of the cards I would try to hit with that Blessing of Frost, actually. Fura's Retribution for black, 2 white, and 1. It is a saga. Its first one makes a 4/4, so you get a 4/4 flying for 4 for your saga. I like starting out that way. Until end of turn, angels you control get tapped, destroy target creature with power less than this creature's power. Sick. 3, angels you control gain double strike. That's a pretty good angel saga. Does that see play in angel decks? I know black is not always the color, but is Kalia the lord for angels these days in Commander? I gotta do some homework. Doomscar. Yep, tell them the wrath is coming. That'll help. Sorry. Ingarunize, though. When it enters the battlefield, scry 3. When it dies, draw 3 cards if 3 or more creatures die this turn. So, it pays to wrath. It pays to wrath. I guess you combo that with Doomscar, right? That's the combo. Doomscar, not great. Ingarunize, though, she'll make it work. Elven Bow. When Elven Bow enters the battlefield, you can pay 2 if you do make an elf. And equipped creature has reach. You don't really want that, but it does make an elf. Tundra Fumarole. This card, I believe, for a very brief window of time, was worth something. And I think it's just become bulk fodder, my friend. A beautiful foil snow-covered forest with gorgeous art. We actually like that. That's a nice card. Okay, last 2 packs. Man, it's going to kind of come down to the wire. Unless there's something phenomenal here, we're really going to have to put all these side by side and we'll take a look. So yeah, be ready for the follow-up. It's going to take me a little time to get there. Bergie, though, in the showcase. Bergie right now this is another $10 hit. So this might be what pulls ahead. It's a rare, but this showcase is beautiful. And Bergie is red and 2. Whenever you cast a spell, you can add red. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases, and creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns instead. And then if other side's a legendary artifact for red and 4 and discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You can play those. So that's pretty saucy. There's quite a few decks that can take advantage of those several effects. She's doing a lot, man. Almost a good case for not needing double, just publish both of those cards, I guess. All right, last pack. Here we go. It's been quite a day. We're going to take a break after this and just chill for a bit. Alrighty, Rune of Flight, Arnie slays the troll, and a Dream Devourer. He's a demon cleric. He costs black and 1 for each non-land card in your hand without Foretell. It has Foretell. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost, reduced by 2. Whenever you foretell a card, that's strong. Man, who cares about the body? Do a lot of, oh gosh, what is his name? The guy who likes to play spells from exile as the commander. I can't remember right now, but in any case, the tiefling. All right, well, we did great. Kaldheim really showing up strong. So yeah, stay tuned. The next video to come out will kind of be a recap. We'll compare each set side by side, do some kind of day of price analysis. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.